Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, we got other music trying to play. Hold on, let's turn that on. All right, there we go. Got other music trying to play this morning. We don't need all that. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good.
Oh, I gotta get my sound together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, look here. Come Friday, man.
Huh?
Come Friday, we done been here the whole week, brother. Ain't no telling what you might get.
Oh, I was having some problems with my internet, and can you hear me?
Yes.
Clearly.
It's not loud.
It is. It's real loud. It's coming through real loud on our end.
Okay.
Yeah. But good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Y'all know what this is. This is the one we call Black Friday. This is the one that we call Black Friday. We talk business, and we got so much to talk about today. We got so much to talk about today concerning business and all this stuff surrounding all these stimulus checks. Y'all talking about all these stimulus checks. And I'll tell you something, that man trying to get y'all, he trying to bribe y'all, he trying to get over on y'all. And don't y'all, look here, y'all don't be like that fish. Don't be like that fish in the water where you drop a little bait in the water on the hook.
Oh, that's right.
Drop a little bait in the water on a hook, and you see the bait, but you don't see that hook. And you got a little hunger, and you go and you grab that bait, and then before you know it, the hook is stuck in your mouth. You fight trying to get off the line.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let him do it. Don't let him do it to you. Don't let him do it. I ain't gonna tell you not to take the money.
Gotta take the money.
I'm not gonna tell you not to take the money. I'm not gonna tell you not to take the money.
But I'm so funny.
But I will tell you, look here. After you take that money and you go to the poll, you got to get a case of amnesia. I'm just saying. After you take the money and you go in that poll, you got to get a case of amnesia. Like Patrice Russian say back in the day, forget me not. I'm just saying, all y'all can do, y'all want to do is say, I'm the kind of guy, I ain't gonna tell y'all who to vote for, but I will tell you who I'm voting for.
Absolutely.
And his name is not T-Ron. I'm just gonna go ahead and say his name is not T-Ron. We gotta say good morning to a few people this morning before we kick this thing off, man. This is Black Friday. I always look forward to Black Friday. But look at here. I gotta say hello to the ladies first. Leonard, you know the ladies gotta be first. You know the ladies are first. Hey, Anna.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You gonna tell everybody where you're hailing from today? Or you gonna say parts unknown?
Parts unknown.
Oh,
Georgia. the good old dirty.
The dirty. They got to like that. The dirty. That's the dirty. It's the dirty. And we got another young lady on with us. Now, this is the brainchild of Black Friday right here. Black ain't been to sleep all night long. This girl been working all night long. Oh, geez, if you hear some snoring, I'm gonna have to cut off. If I hear some snoring between now and 9 o'clock, I'm gonna have to drop her line because she ain't been to sleep all night long. Good morning, young lady. Tell everybody.
Good morning. That might happen. That just might happen. I'm okay. Good morning, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
Tell everybody who you are.
I am Shimani Graves. I created Black Friday for an opportunity for Black business owners to come on and network with us and learn some things that they haven't ever learned before and be able to, most importantly, promote their business for free.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Now, when I say who are you, I thought you was gonna say Sleepy, but that's okay. That's okay. I thought that's what you was gonna say this morning. Leonard, my brother from another mother, but we got the same father. Leonard, talk to me. Tell everybody.
Good morning, man.
Where you from, man?
I'm calling from Covington, Georgia.
Covington, Georgia. Now I'm gonna ask the question. Leonard, Trump trying to get a hook, line, and sinker with that stimulus check, man. Is he trying to get us? And let me ask you a two-part question. Is he trying to get us? And why in the world is it so important for him to have his name on the check?
Well, we know that's about his sick narcissistic issues about the name on the check thing. At first, I didn't think it was a real deal, but anything can happen around here these days.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the stimulus checks and things like that were never, to me, an incentive to vote for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it don't matter to me. He could have sent 10,000. I still wouldn't have voted for him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He owe you that money.
So if he sent 10,000, you gonna take the money though, ain't you? You gonna take the money?
Man, I'd take that money and then some, and still wouldn't vote for him.
Anna, what do you say to that, Anna?
I'm with Leonard.
Mhm.
So I saw a post yesterday. One of my friends, they were like, he's just trying to get your vote for, the November elections. So then all these people are laughing, and that's a clean version of it. All these people, this is a Christian station, so all these people are laughing about it, and I was serious when I wrote, better get up. And we as the people, as minorities, need to get up and vote. Period. It's no joke. Like, get up and vote. Don't take that money and spend it on nonsense that's unimportant. I mean, he's talking about opening up the country again in May. Do you know how many more people are going to die? It's no joke.
Exactly. Now, Tawana, I kept you last because I know you got so much on your heart about this stimulus thing, man. I've been watching you, Tawana. What do you think about this stimulus thing? What do you think about him trying to basically buy your vote?
I don't know if it's trying to buy your vote, but I mean, I'm done talking about this whole stimulus thing. I really don't care anymore. People are going to believe whatever they want to believe. We was in a debate of whether it's a loan. It's definitely a loan. You definitely have to say that you're borrowing your own money. That's just it's not a debate. That's what it is. And if people took the time just to read, then they would see it says clearly that it's advancement. So that's our problem. Specifically, our problem is we don't like to read. So we have to make sure that we read. It's no way. If people that didn't want the check, it's not no way you can't take this check. They made you have to be able to take this check. You can't say like, okay, I don't want this $1,200 because it doesn't work like that. But when you pay this money back, please believe me, you're not paying $1,200 back. You're paying the money that was loan plus interest.
Exactly. And see, that's the part that a lot of people didn't understand. They say, well, he's just giving us money. No. What he's doing, he's giving you an advancement on your taxes for next year. And when you file your taxes next year, what if you get $1,200, you're gonna be $1,200 in the hole. And so whatever you get on top of that, if you get $1,202, guess what? You're getting $2 for your taxes, and then that's gonna be taxed. So you might walk away with 75 cents. What do you say to that, Leonard?
Well, to me, it's all plus. So I don't really care about. I never tied the stimulus money to any support for him whatsoever. He may claim that's him, but I understand finance and I understand economics and I understand money. And what people need is what people need when they need it. I'm not into talking people out of money or what to do with their money or whatever. I really don't care what you do with it or how you handle it. I hope it helps people more than hurts people. People who need this money could care less about taxes later. That's the way economics work. It's about the immediate need being satisfied by the funds.
So they don't care what they have to do or what they have to pay back later. It's just that they need that money right now, and because of the fact that they need that money right now, they're not caring about what the penalty is going to be going forward.
And then that's because some people look at it as a penalty. Some people look at it as just plus. They never had it. Their situation come tax season may be completely different. If you really have that big of concern, you should be working on some type of shelter or whatever regarding this disbursement and do it that way. But that's for people who have money, who are not falling behind.
And that's exactly where I was going to go when you said that, because a lot of times you got a lot of people, man. Okay, let me flip it and do it this way. We have been a group of people that have had to make ends meet with whether we had it or whether we did not. The Black and brown community, man, we had to make it work. And so my thing is, if we have that $1,200, yes, it will help. It will help what we're trying to do. But if we don't get that $1,200, we still gonna find a way. We're the people, man. We're gonna find a way. And if you give us $1,200, yes, that'll help out. Appreciate it. Thank you. But if I don't get that $1,200, we still have to come together. We still have to do what we have to do. We still got to make it. Our kids still got to eat. The bills still got to get paid with or without that $1,200. So that's the way I'm looking at it. Anna, what do you think of that?
You can have it said that better. I spoke to somebody about this check. I think somebody coughed, God bless you. I spoke to somebody just maybe 2 days ago about this check. I told them, I said, maybe get yourself some life insurance or look into it, because not everybody can get life insurance. Think of investments that you can make. And, I'm not talking about 401ks, maybe get some stock bonds. Do something that, can stay within your children. And do you know what this person told me?
What's that?
I'm going to spend my money because it's extra money, because I need that money. They even went as far as having someone else claim their child. And what they're doing is this is going to be such a mess next year. People aren't even looking. They're looking at the now. So if you let someone claim your child, which not at all do I applaud that. Not at all do I say it's okay. Whatever you do, that's your business. But if you let someone claim your child, they're going to go ahead and look at the social security number that you had from the beginning when that child was born, that you were given for that child a temporary card at the hospital. What then happens is that after somebody claims them, they're going to send both of you guys the money. Guess what? You guys, somebody's going to get in trouble for it. And it has to be paid back with interest, because anything that you owe the IRS, period, has to be paid back with interest. Understand one thing. Nothing is free in this world. Mm-hmm. The stimulus, the CARE stimulus package, it comes with some rules in the background, or some things that you have to repay back, whether it's through our taxes. Well, guess what? If you know that you got this money and you know that you fall in that bracket that is the upper working class, do me a favor and pay higher taxes for the rest of the year, because you're going to have to do it. Save that money somehow, some way. Invest it in different ways that maybe you can do it. There's other people, yes, like I found myself that place before in the past where I was living check to check, or worse, I was just making it a month and not being able to have it. But I always budgeted and tried to find a way to make it happen. Not necessarily do we need to invest, okay, if we're in a different bracket, but find a way. If, again, I said you can get stock bonds. There's different things you can get, which might not seem like a lot to you. Try starting off with $100. You have the money now anyways. But like I said, even if you're one of these people that had somebody claim your kid, you're going to get a check for the exact amount that you're supposed to get for those children. And that person that claimed those children, or that child as well, guess what? One of y'all is going to pay that back. And if that person already claimed it, more than likely it's going to be the parent. Mm-hmm. The parent can say, this is my child. So it's a wreck waiting to happen. And what saddens me the worst is that this is the poor community that's going to have to pay for this. Understand, it's no joke. This administration does not care. Same as the small business, money is already gone. That was breaking news yesterday. Within 2 weeks, the money was gone. That's why he wants to open the country back up by May 1st. A lot of people are going to die.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Tawanda, let's on the business side. And that's what we talk about on Black Friday business.
Oh.
A lot of I've been watching the news and watching all the stuff that's going on, and a lot of businesses are closing their doors because with this whole Corona thing going on, people are not coming in to support them like they used to. I saw a lady in Florida. She's down there where the where the cruises go out. Her family started a cruise parking lot years ago, and they were very successful with that. But now people are not cruising, going out on cruises and stuff, and so they said they're losing everything. I saw this other guy from Columbia, South Carolina. He has some kind of a restaurant he had there, and he was doing real good for a long time. But now, it's like ghost town with his business. He's saying that he needed to stimulus money to help keep the lights on just for another month, just so he can keep his head above water. What is this going to do for businesses? How is this going to help or hurt businesses?
Oh, for specifically for Black-owned business, it's gonna hurt them really bad because we just don't have the bailout support that other businesses have. Let's say Caucasian business owners, we just don't have that same $1.9 million bailout. We just don't have that same access. But you know, a lot of brick and mortar stores are closing, and this is why we've been talking about Black Friday. We've been talking about this whole digital world. People think that it's a lack of money. It is a lack of money for some people, but a lot of people that with residual income and have different platforms of income. This is why we encourage this every week. It's not. They don't have limited money, so it's still going to be things and stuff going on the online versus brick and mortar. So that's going to be the strategy. But a lot of Black-owned businesses and that is just barely was surviving the economy before. Unfortunately, it's going to be the death of a lot of small businesses.
And see, that's what's unfortunate, because you got people that's poured their whole lives into their business and making the business successful for their family, for the community, and for everybody involved. And now they're in a situation, Leonard. Now they're in a situation where they're about to lose it all. It's all about to go away. What do they do? And Leonard, let me ask you this, because I know you being who you are, with all this stuff going on and all these people losing the things that they're going to lose. Leonard, are you frozen? Oh, there you go. I thought you were frozen there for a second. You were mighty still, brother. But what did this have the potential to do to the crime wave that's going to affect our country when people start being without?
Well, I think the people in that situation were always in that situation on that end. People don't just become criminal for these types of reasons. And a lot of people say that or whatever because it's part of the hysteria or what have you. But people go out of business every day. It's just such a mass happening that I think is the big thing, and everything is happening at one time. And first of all, you have to separate when I talk about suffering businesses. There are businesses that may be suffering simply because they had luxury items, non-essential items. Okay. The people who are suffering is the people who depended on folks coming to their place of business and spending money. So there's other types of businesses besides those types of businesses. So also the smaller businesses, of course, were maybe probably not insured against such things. Certain things did not hit them as bad. Like, say, for instance, I'm always thinking about minimizing cost. So if something does happen, there's a little bit more cushion there, right? But in some cases, where you talk about people getting ready to lose everything, that's a completely different issue. Like, say, for instance, entire industries. The federal government are bailing out all types of businesses, entertainment businesses, and all these types of things that came out with CARE Acts and things like that. Specifically, we've seen something with 501c3s, for instance. What people don't understand, these are corporations. You live in a corporate state, basically. And all these various corporations or what have you are going to be taking advantages of those things that were set up for business. But what's going to happen is people are not even going to be prepared. And I'm pretty sure Tawanda would be able to speak to it more. Are you plugged into the system that would support you to begin with? Or is this such a happening that you never planned for anything like this to occur? So business is what it is, and it's a cycle. They get hit. during the I remember when construction and everything got hit real bad during the recession before.
Yeah.
And a stimulus was needed then. And that's why you have to notice with the disbursement and things, it's a stimulus. It's not a gift to you.
It's good.
It's an economic stimulus for you to continue to participate in the economy. Because if people can't participate in the economy, then that's what causes the economy to fail. So you're stimulated by taking the money and doing whatever you do with it. You may take that money. I'm just going to give you the dirty on it. What if I needed that money, boom, and had an opportunity to take that money and flip it in the next 2 or 3 weeks? See, everybody not in the same type of business. All businesses don't have payrolls and things like that.
You ain't talking about the street pharmaceuticals, are you?
Well, not just that. It's just street pharmaceuticals, or you can sell your dope on the market. It just depends on what you're doing.
Okay.
So, if you buying dope on the market, it ain't no different than buying dope on the street. The economic concept is the same.
My thing is this right here, Leonard. Now, I'm a street guy, Leonard. I'm a street guy, man. When you're talking about flipping it and stuff like that, I ain't talking about no houses. Most of the people when they talk about flipping something, where I come from, they ain't talking about no houses.
Hey, I just put it out there. Like Anna was mentioning, you can take that money, boom, invest it in the stock market, and turn it over in a month or so.
Ray ain't about no stocks either. No, Ray ain't saying about no. Leonard, I understand what you're saying, brother. I love you. You my brother, and I do anything in the world for you. But look here, Ray ain't talking about no stock.
There are lines at dispensaries right now.
Yeah, he talking about dispensary. He talking about dispensing something.
Legal dispensaries.
Legal?
Yeah, there are lines that's going to be spent with that stimulus money. At those types of places as well.
Ray say that legal is based on who's looking at it and what angle you're coming from. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you got to bob, sometimes you got to weave.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people sitting back who don't need this money.
Yeah.
And they're looking at it from that point of view of not needing that money.
They're positioning themselves in a situation where they're okay.
Certain people got bills to pay right now. Everybody's electric company is not giving them a break. Their water companies are not giving them a break. They still have obligations despite the fact, what if their employer calls us, today is layoff day, no checks.
What's amazing to me though, Leonard? You got some people, and Twan, I want to get your input on this. You got some people, you got some companies out there, some electric and gas companies, some water companies that's bypassing everything. They say, we're gonna get, don't worry about it, blah, during this whole situation, this whole corona situation. Don't worry about the bills. Don't worry about having to pay.
Ain't nobody saying that now. I don't know about that.
Well, there's some people that say,
what they're saying is they're not cutting off for 60 days.
Yeah. Well, still the same thing. They ain't getting no money.
No, it ain't the same thing. It is not the same thing. It's about time. Like, see, that's the thing about this money right here. There's a time component to it. Whereas your utilities company may say, we're not cutting anything off at 60 days. This is like with deferment plans, for instance, up north, because you can't go without heat up north in the wintertime.
Yeah.
So what they have is this delayed payment. It's no discount or gift. It's just that, one, they won't cut it off and you won't have to pay right now, but you still owe that money, and a payment plan is given to you at an interest rate. So right, it's like business.
Your money.
They floating your money and floating your pay, because turning you off don't hurt them.
Yeah, and that's where I was going, and that's exactly where I was going. I'm glad you came back, because they're not hurt. Even if they don't get their money, they're not hurt. And so, why in the world they got to charge so much? Earthquake said a couple of years ago. He said, and he had a joke. Earthquake. Earthquake said, "Look here, I'm gonna put my L in my mama name." They get charged for everything. Now I'm gonna put my L. He nope, put that in my mama name. Put it on my mama bill. But see, that's the thing, man. A lot of these companies are just greedy. They're greedy. And Leonard, back in the day, man, we could get a car. We get a brand new car that's made out of steel for this amount of money. Now that same car is made out of paper, almost out of paper. You got to pay 10 times more for that car. That's not as good as it was back in the day. Back in the day, I'm gonna give you an example. Them old shit 1973, 74 Chevy Novas. Man, you could run through a tank with that car, man. And you might not get scratched too bad. Now, if you run over an hill of the car, man, your car might fall apart.
Yeah, but you make a lot more.
More cars?
No, money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. So, Tawana, why in the world is it, people just greedy, Tawana? And I could dress it up and make it look real pretty, but people are greedy, man. And the way that this system is set up now, we're getting less and they're getting more.
I mean, that's just smart business investments. That's why I say all the time, when you have people that are like, okay, let's just build our own. Well, first of all, you don't even understand the fundamentals to even create.
Right.
Did they know right now that they needed to have separate insurance, that they needed to have, it's not, you wouldn't know that. So that's already, you set yourself up for failure. I mean, companies are greedy, but I mean, right now, and I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that I'm right, that it has not been a bill that has been passed to suspend services. I think that it's still, it was a bill put into action. It hasn't passed yet. Yeah. So technically, they don't have to do anything. Right now, it's just voluntary if the landlords don't want to take the money. But at the end of the day, what you got to realize is the landlord, they need their money too. Like landlords and stuff like that, they weren't prepared for this either. So they need funding and they need money too. Mm-hmm. Now, giant companies like Amazon and stuff like that, they don't deserve a bailout, but that's just smart business investments on their end. It's something that we don't know enough about, and that we really need to know and learn. If you want to create your own, you need to know everything that they're doing and how to avoid going bankrupt, because that's where we are headed.
So, Tawana, you said something earlier, and I want to go back to that. The Black and brown community, during this whole situation, like in every other situation, we're hit the hardest. We're hit the hardest in situations like this. Is it because of a lack of preparation, or is it because we just don't know business like we're supposed to know business? Why do we always take, and I know the answer to this, but I'm throwing it out there for the listening audience. Why is it that the Black and brown community takes such a hit in situations like this in comparison to other communities?
We just don't have the same access to funding, the same access to grants, the same access to exemptions. But we gotta look at it. We've never had that. It's never been a time where we can compare, like, okay, we had this big advantage. We've never had that. Part of the reason why we take the most hits, I think, is we're the most resilient of races. We're going to survive. We've been survived way worse than this. We'll survive, but I think that people, for us specifically, we need to start looking at this outside of the box. If you have a brick and mortar store that's closed, then you need to figure out how you can come on to this digital world that's thriving and figure out how you can make a profit. It's just simply by changing your mindset, having a different, take that money if you don't need to spend it on anything, and do something with it. If say for instance, I give you a perfect example. If it was a person that had a Black-owned bakery and they know that that's closed down, why can't you make up digital cookbooks? Or why can't you come on and get up your followers how to do different recipes and stuff like that? So strategic things that we can do. We're just not thinking outside the box right now.
So, Tawana, am I hearing you say, like Leonard, if you got a bakery and it ain't going well, make you some of those special brownies?
Listen, let me tell you what my grandma told me a long time ago. You take care of your kids by any means necessary. Okay. And I take that to heart. So any way that we have to survive out here is how we have to survive.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Anna, what's on your heart?
Tawana made a really good point. And I have made posts recently just to see where people's mind and stuff like that is at. I've asked, like, what have they done for today, or what have you done this time while you've been at home? Because another thing that can be done with that money, and you don't even need to spend all of it on that, is start building a garden, so that when this happens again, you're prepared. And I think people are thinking for not everyone, but a lot of people are thinking for the short term. And they're not actually focusing on what can I do to make sure I'm good, ready to go. It's not necessarily about the physical of the money, but if you actually think about it, if you start a garden and something like this happens, will you survive? Yes, you'll survive through another pandemic like this, where you can't go out and stuff. You got people that are literally dying. I have a family member who is still in the hospital battling. We don't know what's going to happen. It's no joke. It's hit home for me, and like I say, you guys need to think ahead, think forward, because I see it's like a joke. Like, I'm sure that if I were to put on a mask, put on some gloves, go to Walmart, go to Target, go to those stores, I guarantee you that they're going to be full, not like we saw them a week or two before whenever we did our grocery shopping. Why? Why can't, and I'm sure Tawanda, I'm sure Leonard, I know I have, I'm sure Raheen, I'm sure most of the Morning Glow family has came on and said, use that money for something else, invest it in something else. Speak to us if you need help with it. I'm not the best person at finances and stuff like that, but I can tell you, I'm not going to spend money on something I don't need to spend the money, because I've seen the struggle and I know what it is to struggle. And the struggle is no joke when you don't know in the middle of winter what you're going to do, because you don't have gas to survive. And Leonard made a great point. When you're up north, I know people that their electric bill is $3,000, $4,000. You still got to pay it back if you move down south, because you needed that for, say, whatever you needed for the winter months. So you still got to pay that when you move south, and most people from up north too. So what are you going to do then?
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Sherry, good morning. How you doing?
Morning.
Hey, everybody. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, Miss Tawanda. Hey.
Okay, Sherry, what we're talking about? We're talking about the stimulus money. We're talking about the stimulus money and the effect that it's going to have going forward. Now, Sherry, what you gonna do with your money?
When it hits my account, I'm gonna leave it there, because at the end of the day, that money is not free money. That is money that they are giving us advance on for our next year's taxes. I saw some information on that, but a lot of people, people are going to misuse their funds. They always do that, but you have to be mindful. In order for you to do better, you have to change your mindset. So mine is going to stay in the bank account. I'm not going to touch it. But the funny part about it is I just filed my taxes like a week and a half ago. I received my tax money before I received my stimulus money. And that was already in the making, because they said if you had not filed your taxes yet, we'll use the information from 2018 taxes. So, and then my friend, she filed her taxes back in January, and she got her stimulus money back before she got her tax money back. So that's kind of weird when I just filed my taxes. But a lot of people are going to take it and they're going to misuse it, because they're not thinking, just because your landlord cannot put you out while you're not receiving a paycheck, a regular paycheck, does not mean you don't have to pay that money back. You have to still, like they said to pay something, so when things start getting back into the swing of things, the economy and everything, everybody goes back to work, your bills are not that high. How are you going to be able to go back and step into your job when you got a past due bill of thousands of dollars because you took the money and you used it for something else? People are going to do it, and they're going to be crying, well, we just start back working, and what did you do with your stimulus money? Mm-hmm. See, that's the thing. People, it's gonna get real ugly. It's gonna get uglier. It really is, and I see it come from a mile away. And I have a finance background. I have a bachelor's in banking and finance. I've worked in the banking field for 10 years. So I mean, I've seen this all the time, where a married couple would have one bank account, and then they would be spending. The left hand don't know what the right hand is doing. So while she's spending, he's spending, and they could not figure out why the account was always in the negative. It'd be $300-400 in the negative. When the next paycheck comes, half of it is gone before they actually got the paycheck. And I told him, I was like, the right hand does not know what the left hand doing. And you have to be mindful of what you're spending. You have to write that stuff down. You have to keep a daily log of how much you're spending, what's coming in, what's going on. And then you have to learn how to pay yourself. You have to be saving something. The average person, I think, probably only saves like $50 a month, if that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's good. That's good. Leonard, so to some people, it is stimulus money, the save all.
Well, remember, to me, this money is a stimulus, and it's not just your situation. It's all the way up the line. There are people that are taking the money that don't have this value judgment attached to it. It's not about like the comment, like when someone will say, well, what did you do with your stimulus money? I don't care what you did with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my position to judge what you do with your money. The intent of the money is to stimulate the economy. Now, what conservative people do is save. They save everything.
Mm-hmm.
What other people do, they may invest everything. However, everybody should be aware that you should be keeping receipts and things like that of everything that's going on, because if you've used to business or whatever, there's a portion of your taxes that you can claim a disaster on. This is a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
So you also have to be thinking, like, I used to do taxes and I used to tell people, I'm not a last minute tax guy. I more want to get you into a way of spending the money or using the money and planning your tax situation. You should have a tax plan.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some people that I have an average that I get back each year. As long as I'm around that average, I'm usually fine. But I've never owed the IRS.
Mm-hmm.
For the very simple fact is, I need to be making adjustments during the year or investing in things that offset whatever taxes I may have to pay. So we can't just assume just because this stimulus check came that everybody all of a sudden going to change the way they've normally spent money. That does not change.
Yeah.
The people who conserve money will do just that because that's what they normally do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's happening is when work, this was I believe Amos Wilson wrote this book that I'm remembering from my public administration days. When work runs out, that's the issue. When work runs out, that's when there's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because business is going to be what it is. But when work runs out, the ability of people to spend runs out. And that's where we get into a problem now. We've never seen work run out like this.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, when work runs out is when people suffers.
Exactly.
Not when goods and services are on the market available. It's when work runs out and the people that purchase these goods and services have issues. Big business has already insulated themselves. So I don't have tears for business. I don't.
Good deal. We got Christy with us. Christy, good morning. Good morning.
Hey, Christy.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Doing good. Leonard, we outnumbered today, brother.
You are.
Oh, that what it is?
I'm on Nate's side.
Ooh, okay then.
Smart.
Okay.
Mr. London is very smart. Oh my God, I love him.
Christy, what you trying to say here, Christy? No, but listen, Christy.
Hey, Miss Sherry.
Hola.
Oh Lord.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Everybody gotta get it.
Señorita.
We only here for 2 hours. Now we ain't got time for all these pleasantries. Good morning.
Très bien.
Good morning, Grandma. Good morning, Grandpa. All that Walton stuff. Leonard remember the Walton.
Good morning, John boy.
Oh, the days of 3 channels.
Exactly. 12 o'clock, everything shut down. But listen, Christy, we're talking about this stimulus money. What's
Ooh, yay.
about this stimulus money, man? Is it a good, bad? Is it different? Are they setting us up for a drive-by? What's really going on with the stimulus money?
Look, I'm going to be honest. I believe the government never does anything for free. And I
Right.
believe I believe there's going to be some backlash to it. But one thing that I tell my people, or I've been saying since the beginning before, when they start talking about this stimulus, be aware. If you got this stimulus money because they're trying to jumpstart the economy, but it's really not going to work. If anybody want to know where America's headed, please study the fall of Roman or the Roman Empire. Please study it, and you'll know where America's headed. But for what I feel like, I think that this money, people need to really save it. Don't go out there and buy 100,000 different things with it, because to me, what's going to happen is we're going to go into either a deeper recession, if not a depression. And if you don't believe me, walk into the grocery stores and see that some items are not being replenished. Go look and see how much food has gone up just right now. I know I went to go buy some eggs. I dang near spent $10 on just some eggs. So those of you that are getting all this money and SNAP benefits, all these people getting all this extra money, they do have another legislation on to pay $2,000 a month until the coronavirus is ended. If I am telling my Black people, I ain't even speaking to the white folks because they're gonna do right. I'm speaking to the Black people. And I ain't speaking to the conscious Black people. I'm speaking to those Black people that had never had $1 in their life. To you need to save or invest to get a return. It's just like the word said. And I know I'm using this literal, but he said those that invest and got a return back, you're able to do more. So I think it's a good thing if you save. I think it's a bad thing if you go out there and you stay in a shotgun house and you buy your Lexus. I think that's bad.
Yeah. Good deal. Now, let me go to Tawanda. Tawanda, we put a lot out there this morning, and from a lot of different angles. So, what's on your heart right now?
Well, I just want to start off by saying if people haven't never had $1,000 in life, then they really need to reevaluate their life right now, because I mean it's really no money considering these other bailouts, these other companies. I'm getting 1.9 million as a bailout. I also see where the banks who don't off the Federal Reserve, they're getting $1 trillion a day. Okay, so you're talking about millions and trillions of dollars versus $1,200. I just think we gotta be strategic and we gotta be smart. Passing time, and doing stuff constructive. I know mindset was a big thing for me. How to adjust, how to shift my mindset on to doing anything. After I had been in like the house for a couple of days, and my mindset was totally somewhere where it wasn't. So it's just a mental switch, but it's plenty of things that we can be doing. I know a lot of courses in Academy. They have I know right now I'm in a 30-day quarantine special. I know a lot of schools are giving 90% off to do online courses. So it's the things that we can do. We need to make sure that whatever we do is going to be able to sustain if this was to happen again. Like I said, if people still making money, it's not no shortage on people spending the money. People are not going to stop spending money. But it just has to be in a market that is going to continue to be profitable.
Exactly. We have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Hello? Yeah, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Raheem, this is Elder.
Hey, what's up, El?
I'm calling from my work day in Atlanta here.
Oh, okay, good deal.
I'm running around and I'm getting it.
There you go. We're talking about this stimulus money, man. Is it good, bad, ugly? or they setting us up for a drive-by. What is on your heart about this stimulus money, Elgin?
I think increase, for the most part, let's say it like this. Increase will always reflect, the way it's used, will always reflect the mindset of the person that received the increase. So, money is a tool. It's not bad. What's bad is the way people use it, because their mentality is not prepared or equipped to use it effectively. And it goes back to what Leonard was saying and what Chris was alluding to. You got to have a plan. You got to have a plan. There's really no excuse for anybody to come out of this situation when we get back to the new norm, or something, when we arrive at our new norm in society, we be like, well, I don't have a plan. And I've been talking about starting a business. Well, now's the time. You got downtime. You got to take out a piece of paper and a pen. If you want to use some of that stimulus money, if you can find ways to use it on launching your business, or starting your business, or fortifying your business, or something else you want to do. Like Chris mentioned, school. Go to real estate school. We're going to come out of this, and interest rates going to be low.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time to be in real estate. Take some online courses. Chris just hit me the game. She says 90% off some online courses. When I get home tonight, you better believe I'm going to look online and find out some of these courses I've been waiting to take. Are they at a lesser price? So it's time for me to make an investment in myself, because one thing I have definitely learned, that it's not impossible for the whole world to be shut down and me not have a source of income. So I love what Christy said, and I challenge people to go out there and read about the Roman Empire, read about the many empires before that have risen and then collapsed and crashed. And it always boils down to their economy. And they've always done, in the latter stages of before their crash, they've always done what we're doing right now. They started surplusing the economy by giving to the people. And what I predict is going to happen, right? And I mentioned to you before, you're going to see a total reset of the economy. People's their credit, the credit scores are going to be reset. You got people right now who can't pay their mortgages. They live in a state where there's no moratorium on mortgages, but they're about to lose their house because the bank still wants their money. And so we're going to have to do something to help those people, or we're going to have bedlam in the United States. So the only thing left to do is really reset everything. 20 nations by the International Monetary Fund. Yes, sir.
I'm going back to a question I asked Leonard earlier. And I love the way that Leonard answered it and he dealt with it, but I want to hear your perspective as well. With all this stuff going on, and you got so many people that's going to be without, because if you're not careful, people losing their jobs. The kids still have to eat. A lot of life situations have to still be maintained. What do you see, or is there a potential of the crime rate going over? People putting their foot through people's doors, man, to get what they need, busting out them windows in the houses and businesses to get what they need. Do you see something like that coming forward, Elgin, if we're not careful?
I believe life and death in the power of the tongue. So let me precursor what I'm about to say that way. I don't want to speak. I want to speak on the whys of the question, but I'm going to be very careful about what I say before I speak into the atmosphere. There's a potential for it to go either way. And I'll say like this. It's so much of a potential that the International Monetary Fund, I'll go back to what I was going to say, they just relieved 20 nations completely of all their debt. They wiped it out. 198 countries, 20 of them just got a complete relief of any debt whatsoever, because they foresaw that if they didn't do it, things would get chaotic in those countries for the citizens. So what I'm saying is there's some things that are on the horizon that are totally unavoidable. They're beyond, we're too far. When you say your foot is stuck in the mud now, you might walk on through it. Your foot's in it now. We in it now, bro. Ain't too much left to do. And we've got to be mindful of the fact that what you said, that people are agitated. I'm an Instacart shopper. I'm in the Costco this morning picking up groceries, and the people at the Costco mad because we in their way, but we're just trying to get groceries to people who don't want to leave their house because of the pandemic. And so we end up, instead of one the fuss, and I got some of us Instacart shoppers, and I said, hey, you know what? All of us are edgy right now because we got bills, we got things going on. We don't want to be here shopping. We trying to take care of our bills because there's no relief on our bills. And we in there grocery shopping, and they want to fight. What's going to happen when everything completely dries up?
Yeah. Yeah, good deal, good deal. I think we have Cassandra with us. Good morning, Cassandra. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing well. Thanks for joining us this morning. Asking you the question. This whole situation that's going on. This whole situation that's going on with this stimulus check. What's on your heart behind that, Cassandra?
Well, let me say that the money is not. Let's just say this first time. That is not 45's money. So for those ignorant people that are walking around here like he's personally going in his check and in his checking account and sending out the money, it's not his money. It belongs to the people that are actually getting the money. And we have to be wise about how we use this money. We need to save. I would say put it aside if you don't need to use it right now. I mean, we know we have to pay bills, but pay the bills that you can. If you got anything left over from them giving money out.
Please leave your message for.
Hold on.
I hope it'll be more than.
Mailbox is full. To send an SMS notification,
Hold on, y'all.
press 5.
Sorry, but I'm trying to call somebody back. Go ahead, Cassandra.
Yeah, I hope it'll be, more than one time because people could really, use that. And I believe that, I'm not really concerned about a lot of this because anybody that has studied the Bible, what's happening. I mean, if you have any idea, if you read Isaiah, Ezekiel, Revelations, you know exactly what's happening right now. So you should not be in panic mode. I am not in panic mode under any circumstances. I'm being aware of what's happening, but none of it has surprised me, not Corona, not the earthquake, nothing. So this stimulus check, I believe we need to be wise. We need to save where we can, use it when we can, because this is all one big setup for what has already been written. It is written. So let's not, for real, especially those that say that they know the word.
Please leave your message for.
You just gotta, you gotta know what's happening and just trust God. You say you trust God. Trust God. Be wise with what you're doing. Listen to the Holy Spirit, but know that there is nothing new happening right now. All of this was predetermined.
Exactly.
That's my position.
Good deal. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh, I'm just listening. I think everybody is telling the truth about the matter. I think one of the biggest issues, especially, when you're dealing with the society, and I have never been worried about nobody kicking my door in like that. Not because you needed nothing. Nah, thieves are thieves. They were kicking doors in, but like you say, there comes a penalty with kicking someone else's door in. You could get killed.
Yes, sir.
So I don't sit and worry about people committing crime. I can be crime if I want to. So I'm not worried about crime. Crime is what it always has been. That ain't gonna change. So and this is the thing, this hype and this mass hysteria that they're trying to create over scarcity. There is no real scarcity. We have a health issue that is keeping people from participating in a certain economy. Now, remember, healthcare in itself is an economy. So I went to a place the other day, which I rarely go, but this is, how you go out and get your little necessities. And the business owner said, this is the first time he's coming back. And he looked at a lot of things that Korea was doing in order to get back to work. And, he has it set up at his business where you can't get in without a mask. And then he sprays you down right then. And then you're only allowed to go in when other people come out. So he's adjusted his business because of what he has. And the demand for what he has is going to keep him afloat. So there are certain ways of living they're just going to change. America has a huge economy, all these different brands and everything like this. I tell people, metaphorically speaking, like I like the way Brother Elgin talks about things, because metaphorically speaking right now, if you're going to do anything, buy some dirt, buy some seeds, buy something that you say, okay, if you're worried about eating, guess what you should be doing right now? Planning to eat during scarcity. So like you say, I had a picture. I've already dug up my garden. So just in case, you have to have a seed mentality right now. You have to have a mentality of, are you really concerned about food? Because if that is really a priority, then that's what you need to plan around. People like with insurances and things like bankruptcy, for instance. Bankruptcy's still out there.
Yeah.
You know, and things of that nature. That's what banks do. That's what businesses do. But what you have to focus on is contract your personal economy. You have to behave just like the bigger economy and start to contract. You're not going to be able to spend money. Like a lot of folks now have extra money because they're not spending it on gas. If you got that money right now, what would you do? You have a generator? Do you have a way to collect fresh water? This is the reason why they came up with so many rules and put so many rules in place about how you could live. This is why some people have rules against collecting fresh water, because if you learn how to collect fresh water and provide your own water, guess what? You don't need to pay them people them bills. If you get on solar right now, you don't have to pay the electric company. Okay. So there are ways to do it, but you have to contract your personal economy. But there are a lot of people, we can't put everybody in the same boat just because of the color of our skin.
Good deal. Good deal. Sherry, what's on your heart?
I was thinking about what you're saying. You're talking about contract your own income, your economy at home, and that's very true because I have had to make some adjustments. With that financial background, it's like I was spending more than I needed to be spending, and I had to take a step back. Like, what am I doing? I don't need this. So, and then my mom talked to me. She was like, I don't know what's going on, but you know, Mr. President in office, it's a lot going on that we don't know. And she told me, she was like, you need to adjust your spending. And I already was keeping my bills low and I was being mindful of everything else. But I was like, okay, let me take a step back so I can make sure if something go down, I'm okay. So my bills are paid, you know, and I'm grateful for that because I pre-planned like 6 or 7 months ago. I was like, something is not right. Something gonna happen. And here we are now. People are not working. People are not getting paid. And that I was told I was going to get paid through my job. It's not a lot, but I did get paid. It was, you know, basically enough to buy groceries for a month or whatever. But the point of the matter is people are not being mindful of what's going on. And then a lot of people, Christy had brought it up. She was talking about how people let other people claim their kids on their taxes. People have been doing that for years. People who have too many kids, and I think the limit you can claim on your taxes, I think is 3 kids, where because the tax credit won't go up higher after 3 kids, so they'll let other people claim them on their taxes, and they will give them part of the money. I know relatives that did that, but now since they said $500 per child.
I mean, Sherry.
So you know what? Yes.
Stop telling people business.
I'm just saying that's what people do. I have relatives that did that. I mean, it is what it is. They're doing it. So now they're getting mad and want to fight their relatives.
Knocking on these people door. Don't be doing you what they call dry snitching. Don't do that.
I've never done it, but the thing about it is if you tell on them, you go to jail. Y'all both go to jail. Y'all both get in trouble. So what you gonna do?
Now they go fight. Let me see who in her family, and let me go check and see how many kids they got. Lord, my Jesus.
I know people have like 6 kids and you can't claim all. I think, like I said, I think the limit is 3.
Sherry, stop.
It's the truth.
Okay, let's moving on.
Christy brought it up. Christy got me in trouble. Christy,
I done muted her, y'all.
I don't you do me like that. Christy got me in trouble.
Sherry.
Yes.
Christy, what's on your heart?
Listen, because you know she did it.
Sure. You know what she's snitching, y'all. She's snitching. I did bring it up because in this time we was talking about the money, and then I did say, you know, in it that hey, it's so many people fighting right now behind the stimulus money because they did allow somebody else to claim their child, and so when they got that 500, the other people got mad, and they getting mad. I mean, it's all on Facebook. You can go look on Facebook at these posts. These people are upset because this $500 not coming to them because they allow somebody else to claim their child and they feel like they should get the whole 500 and they clicking. Oh, well, you done lost a dependent. Oh, families talking about turning each other into the IRS. It is sad that people are fighting over this money. And,
No. I'm talking to the caller. Chris, go ahead. I was talking to the caller.
Oh, and they're fighting, like literally fighting. Families are breaking up. I'm talking about over $500. And I had to learn, and I just remembered, what people stab you in the back for a penny.
Mm-hmm.
So, this stimulus money is really showing up people for who they are. And I want to say this: how many of you paying your tithes? How many of you paying your offerings? And I know I know that's a big old controversy, but I'm gonna tell you, I pay my tithes and I get blessed. So, or whatever you donate or whatever you're doing for mankind, make sure you got your heart pure and you doing the things that God will want you to do.
Absolutely.
The love of money is the root of all evil.
Exactly. Hold on. We got to
say that one more time.
Hold on.
The love of money is the root of all evil.
Okay, we got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Xavier Johnson, calling from McDonough, Henry County.
McDonough. Xavier?
Yeah.
Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Thank you guys for asking. I'm really enjoying the show. Enjoying all of your panelists. You guys have been a blessing this morning. I really appreciate it.
Praise God. Yes, sir. Good to have you, brother. Good to have you. And you got to come back and visit us again. We're talking about this stimulus money, brother. We're talking about the stimulus money. Is it good, bad? Is it good for our community? Or are they setting us up for a drive-by? What are they really doing to us, Xavier? Talk to me.
It's really interesting. So I teach entrepreneurship online. I'm online also. I teach folks basically how to start businesses with skills and talents that they already have.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is that a lot of folks are saying, okay, this is no money, right? This is $1,200 no money. Let me tell you something. I have 5 companies. 4 were seriously affected by this thing we're going through. One of my businesses is a roadside business. All we do is, we service people who get tires, right? We change tires. It's a mobile tire unit. This business hasn't been busier during this time. And so most of the businesses that I've ever started over the last 20 years, I started with less than $1,000. And so this money that they've received, which I won't receive it because income-wise, I was blessed. Amen.
Yes, sir.
I would say it like that.
Yes, sir.
They're going to give it to me. So, however, this $1,200 is more than enough to solidify some kind of business for yourself to do exceptionally well in your life. I mean, $1,200 is enough to buy a lawnmower. $1,200 is enough to buy that cake mixer if you're a baker, right? If you make cakes, if they still buying cakes at Publix.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? People are still spending money. So this mindset that people are hoarding money is not real. It's just not. I mean, I sell used tires for $80 every day. There are still stores that are open. Amazon is still shipping items, still busy. So this idea that no one is making is not the best, right? So there are some ways that we can still get out there and do some things. Is everybody an entrepreneur? No, everybody's not going to open a $100 million business.
Yeah.
But if you are willing to go and give 40, 50 hours to somebody's job, see if this economy, what that gets you. If you go and give somebody 40 hours and make $600 a week, but you won't go, cut grass for, $40 a yard, $50 a yard. Everybody can't do that, of course. But I could rattle off 100 businesses that you could start with $1,200 or less that you can get out there. If you're willing to get up off your behind and go get it. Does that make sense? I mean, we give seed to the sower.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's so. And we were talking biblically just a moment ago. We can easily go back to the talent. When you have the one talent, you take it, you multiply it. Right? You take the 3, you multiply. You take the 5, you multiply. But if you go and bury that thing, this is, I'm not going to call it free money. What I'm going to say, though, is that if you have it, you need to show the Lord that you can do something with it.
Yeah.
This is why churches are having a tough time right now. We just talked about tithing and all that great stuff. I pastored for a number of years, and I'm going to tell you why I stopped. Because we plan. We plan in the church, and this is when I say we plan. Black community, We see more churches that don't look like us do more in our community than we see us.
Mm-hmm.
We run more building funds. We run more crap that don't affect our community. We think that a better, bigger building is going to help folks in our community when people are hungry, people are getting put out, people need courses and classes on how to manage money and things like that where there's no charge, right? So we mad now because people don't want to tithe, people don't want to give to the church, but the church hasn't been doing anything. And nobody wants to give to keep Pastor rolling well. No one wants to give so Georgia Power don't turn out the church's lights when the church didn't care about my lights. So that's why nobody's sowing back into ministries right now, because all of the prophecies that Pastor gave didn't come true. All of the mess we've been talking about is not accurate. It rains on the just as well as the unjust, right?
Yes, sir.
So we have to be mindful in that respect. So no, you're not gonna sit at home and pray and money just show up in the mailbox. That's not how this thing works.
Good deal.
Right?
Hold on, Xavier. Hold on for a second. Hold on, Xavier. Hold on for a second. Don't go nowhere, brother. I'm gonna come right back to you. Want to rotate a little bit, but I'm gonna say this right here, and I say this all the time, and I know all of y'all have heard me say it. God will provide for even the birds in the tree, but He's not gonna drop it in the nest. That bird got to get out of that nest and go out there and get it. God will provide everything that bird need, but He's not gonna drop it in that nest. That bird got to get up, go out there, make it happen. Leonard, talk to me.
I like what the brother just said, but like he said, we have to just plan for a different economy, and sometimes things don't go with people's perception of things. And I'm not one for criticizing how people do this, that, or the other. What has become common right now is I tell people, when you look at certain situations, you just have to understand, you have to let the dead bury the dead.
Yeah.
Because one, it's been preached time and time again, over and over and over, about what is to come. You know, a lot of people say, well, the Bible is doing it. Exactly. That hasn't changed at all. What has changed is people are understanding more about what needs to be done. Some people have a different concept of life. There are certain people that live in a struggle each and every day. They wake up wondering, okay, how am I going to get it today? They've always lived like that.
Yeah.
The thing is, the whole economy has to adjust from a capitalist point of view to a more socialist point of view. It has to, in order to save itself. But if greed continues to rule the game,
come on,
naturally it fails. That's why when folks say, do you think about Rome, you think about this, you think the American economy could be better tomorrow if it's changed its perception of government from a capitalist point of view to a socialist point of view. Yes, everybody can eat, but guess what? You just may have to wait in line for a minute. Okay. You see entertainers right now, they can't get out on the road. They can't go do nothing. So what they doing? They running little concerts at their houses or whatever, and they going online and they charging you maybe $5 or $10 to get access. A lot of them are doing it for free to soothe the nation during this time, but they're bringing their goods and services more to virtual market.
Good deal. Good deal. Anna, what's on your heart right now?
I went out yesterday for an essential duty or whatever they're calling it, essentially having to go out the house, and it was to go drop off some work at the kids' school. I shouldn't have done that, but I waited till the very last second till my tank was almost on E. And then I just had, I think 50 cents or whatever saved up at Kroger, because that's where I always fill up. So anyways, I ended up paying like 90 something cents for gas, man. I haven't seen that in forever. My gas was like so cheap. I was like, why did they charge us so much for gas? I mean, and I know that they say it's by demand, but man, that was a good feeling. I was like, everybody should come out and just fill up a lot of gallons of tanks in those reserve containers, because man, you can't beat that price right now. I was like, dang, I should have brought some containers, because man, I would have really saved. But anyhow, all of you guys, especially Xavier, I think I'm saying his name right. It would be Xavier in Spanish. Man, you made an excellent point. And that's exactly what I've been trying to tell people. One way or another, try to invest it in something. It's not, okay, go and save all your money. What's his name? Pastor L said something that really made sense. Make a garden. That's, go get some seeds or whatever. That's what I've been telling you guys. Do this, do something. Just don't let all the money go to waste. If you need help, I believe there's community gardens. You can stop at one of those and ask people, what is it that they do? The ladies have had some incredible points, each and every one of them. And I just pray that more people tune in. We're heard worldwide and across the nation, that they can tune in and just take something out of this, especially if you are one of those people who doesn't know what to do. Please reach out to the station, reach out. We'll figure something out together. That's what we're here for. That's why, we do what we do. We get up so early to make sure that, we are helping one way or another the community. And I really, really want somebody's heart or mind to be changed, if at all possible, if it was that you were thinking about doing something. But I will tell you, some of these people, going back to what Christy and Sherry were talking about, and I don't know who claims kids or doesn't claim kids. I ain't getting in the middle of that. But that's their problem. I ain't trying to teach nobody. I don't know nothing. But with that being said, these people, some of them are getting 2 checks. So the parent is getting the full amount, as well as the person who claimed them. Y'all be careful. Just turn in the money. It's not worth it, because they're going to charge you that $500 plus interest. And guess what's going to happen to the poor community, the people who don't make that $12,000? It's going to happen to Maria down the street. It's going to happen to Ray down the street. You guys be very careful, because it is a loan. At the end of the day, it's a loan. They're not here for us. And the only reason why I save so much now is because I know what that struggle has been. I know what it is to start from the bottom. So today I'm stingy with money. I help out, but I'm stingy with money with myself. So
good deal. Let me go. I think we have Kurt with us this morning. Kurt, good morning. How you doing, sir?
Hey, morning, Rodney. How you doing, brother?
Hey,
how you doing, Anna? What's up, Al?
Good morning, Kurt.
How y'all doing?
Hey, Kurt.
Hey.
All right, good deal. All right, now let's see. Them Pleasantry boys gonna take a 30-minute with Pleasantry. Look at him, Kurt. We're talking about the stimulus check. Is it good, bad? Is it hurting us, man? Is it going to hurt us moving forward after the money is spent? What do you see in that in this whole stimulus situation?
Any money that's been stolen from you and returned is a good thing. Capitalism without a conscience is corruption. It ain't no way around that, man. I'm a capitalist, but I gotta have a conscience even when I'm making money. I personally believe it's a loan. Well, I know for a fact it's a loan. This is not they're not giving you nothing. What they're doing is they're loaning you some money, and when it comes 2021, when you file your taxes, it's going to be a little question in there. Did you receive a stimulus check? If you check yes, then your tax return for 2020 is going to be minus $1,200. They already took us down this road before in our modern era. They took us down this road back here in 2011. I mean, not 2011, 2001. With George Bush, that was either one. No, that might have been 04, because Bush served 8 years. So if you all remember, they gave a $650 stimulus check back then. Well, Think about the year when you filed your taxes at the end of the year. Your taxes was minus $650. Unless you had some write-offs, some additional write-offs that would allow for you to basically write off that $650, so you wasn't missing nothing. But the simple fact is they're not giving you nothing. Now, here's what my belief is. My belief is God has gotten tired of people being greedy. And the folks that's being greedy is the folks with all the money. They keep putting these loopholes and they take in from folks' Social Security. Me and Hannah was talking one day. I'm gonna end it like this because I know you got a lot of people. We was talking, and I've been doing some studying, right? You know, because I'm real heavy into the news. I pay attention. I don't just watch TV. I read newspaper and everything. Okay, this is 2020. They've been trying to cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid for I don't know how many years. Although the idea of Social Security came from them, they've been trying to cut it ever since it came into existence. Then they were all for it when Dwight D. Eisenhower became president, because they saw that the people was like, okay, we can buy into this system. This is good. Okay, so in 2018, there was a cut to Medicare, Medicaid in between $600 million and $700 million. In the same year, there was an underhanded cut to Social Security that came in between $600 to $800 million. That equals $1.5 billion. The same thing happened again in 2019. Same thing. If you take 1.5 and 1.5, somebody tell me what that equals.
Wrap it up for me, Curtis. Yeah, wrap it up for me, Curtis. Gotta keep it moving, brother.
Okay.
No, go ahead, finish it out.
If you over 2 years cut $3 billion, but then you give a tax break to the wealthiest 1% of $3 billion, then please tell me, if you cut Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, and together it equals $3 billion, while all at the same time you're giving a tax break to the wealthiest 1% of $3 billion, then who gave the tax break to the wealthiest 1%?
Good deal. Elgin, what's on your heart? Cassandra, coming to you next, and then I'm gonna hit Xavier.
I love what Curtis was saying about the money that's stolen from us giving back to us. I'm going to open the can of worms by opening it and by suggesting some reading. The Creature from Jekyll Island. Go read that. If for some reason a person is listening right now thinks that when we say the word Federal Reserve, that means it's a government-ran agency, you really need to find out what's going on in the economy. The Federal Reserve is a privately owned company. Privately owned. It's owned by the elite or the elitists, the people who they don't just have money, they're not wealth, they have power. You get to a certain point when you have money, you're not just rich anymore, you are beyond wealthy, you have power. And so these people are the ones that manipulate things. Most of these bankers, these people that own these banks, they are bankers. And so, Christian, you say the love of money is the root of all evil. Start investigating the people that run these banks and find out about the people that are really loving this money. And they have their hands in Monsanto and companies and grocery stores and logistic companies. They have their hands in major corporations and cell phone companies all across the world. And so while we jumping up and down about $1,200 stimulus, while it's money for us, the reality is that ain't no money. And if you go back and look in the Great Depression, I think it was Eisenhower, he set up an account, a rolling account for every person born after, I think, 1933, with, I want to say $100,000 in it. What has happened is they found out, bankers found a way to tap into that rolling account, which is in your name, under your social, under your birth certificate, and they put it back in their bank and then do what they call fractional lending, which is that's a demon by itself. It just means that I can loan a percentage of the money that I have in the bank over and over and over again to whoever I want to, even though the money doesn't even sit in my bank. It's imaginary money, and that's how the economy starts crashing, because we're giving loans out on money that doesn't even exist. Go back, folks, go study, read, and find out what's going on. We're destined, this economy is already destined to collapse. You can only prop it up so long. It's like a movie set. It's not real. We're looking at it, but it's not real. And we're confused. Oh, I got some money. I'm gonna go online, 80% off that purse right now because of the coronavirus. I'm gonna go buy it right now. You're messing up. Take this thing now that they're using, use it as a tool, to springboard your personal economy into the next dimension. If you don't, you will pay for it tomorrow. And I don't mean with money, I mean with tears, I mean with suffering, and I mean with lack. So we've got to be smart. And the last thing to say, if you can, find a way to, I don't care if you can go on, you got what? You can go to what's called Cash App. You go on Cash App. You know you can buy stocks on Cash App. You can go on Cash App and do a search when you buy the stocks and the stock market's talking about hit it. You can invest. I've invested in the Carnival Cruise Line. I've invested in the gold. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna shut up. Invest in gold. If you can invest in gold and precious metals and commodities, eventually we're going to have to go back to an economy that's backed up by our assets and not by our word. Fiat currency is what we're under right now. It says, I say the paper's worth $1, that dollar bill's worth $1. It's worth $1 because I say it's worth $1. The truth is that dollar bill ain't what the paper is printed on.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're backed up, and the people that are telling us the value of the dollar are the people who are running the banks.
Yep.
And so then they create a run on the economy, and they turn while we sleeping, they go sell and buy stocks and come back and fit the economy, and they keep growing. That's how they stay in power. But right now, this thing is out of control. They can't get a grip on it because everything's shut down. Like I keep saying, God put the entire world on timeout.
Good
and
deal.
Right now, they're struggling trying to figure out how they're gonna save it.
Good deal. Let's keep this thing going. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Got another caller. Caller will come to you in just 1 second.
Yeah, I agree with them. Young man that just got through talking, and it is important for us to invest. My take on it is invest in ourselves as people of color. Black Wall Street was the greatest example that any Black person could ever have of what we can do when we come together and invest in our own communities. The bottom line is we make other people rich when we can take that same money and build our own. I'm a part, I think I've mentioned it before, I've been a part of 2 Black networks. And the thing is, we have to invest in ourselves. We have to get our businesses back. We have to build, capital within our own communities because they are not looking out for us. When I say they, and that's not all white people, but we have a great many of them that have no concern for us. They don't give it. They don't care whether we. I said it. I didn't say it. Okay. They don't care whether we live or die. To be honest about it. And your president is one of those people. So we had better get our own money, start investing in our own businesses, start investing in our own selves. And until we do that, we are going to continue to be under the hand of the master. We'll be not Jesus, not God, under the hand of the master. Yeah. And we need to get away from that.
Exactly. Xavier, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
We're back.
Yeah, Xavier.
Yeah, I'm here, my friend.
Yeah, what's up?
A lot of good information just went through, man. I tell you, it's interesting to hear the information about investing in Black Wall Street, which I think is something that we can easily rebirth. 100 people, $1,200 stimulus, 100 people getting together and buying one property, right? One, $100,000 or less property, refurb, flip, and for the next 20 years, gain residuals, all profit off of that one property. we see 20 years is too long, right? Versus those that have built wealth, right? They see that's the beginning of generational wealth. Going right back to that, we stepping up our game, getting off of our backside, and being active saints, right? So that starts at our home. It starts with ourselves, as you guys have said on the panel. We have to do some internal work. We have to learn how to manage money. You don't even learn how to build a business. Just learn how to manage your own finances. Just start there. You don't even, because I tell you, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. I teach that to my own kids. So if you will have step with doing your homework, you're going to have step with cleaning the house. You're going to have step with managing your money. So I want to teach you to be who you are in all things that you do. So as humans, when we look at our personal finances and I look at our personal home, this is why Scripture tells us when Paul talked to Timothy, he says if the man desires the position of a bishop, he must first be a good ruler of his own home. Because if you can't handle your house, there's nothing else that you can manage. So we need strategy. So I don't know about conspiracy theories. I don't know what all this means. I don't know why this is here. I don't know what reset means. Like, I don't know. I deal with things that I can touch. I can see right now. And what I can see, touch, smell right now is my home. It's my own personal finances. It's my own mindset. So I know that I need to, I done got my kids self off the sofa, right? And start working out a little bit more because bodily exercise, Paul said it costs a little, but it does cost it, right? So we got to get our bodies healthy because if your health is not in place, you're not going to do a whole lot.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Let's keep this thing going. Got to keep it going. Bishop, I think we have Bishop with us this morning. Bishop, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Morning, Bishop.
Bishop. Good morning.
Hey, Bishop.
Bishop,
we're talking about the stimulus money. Is it there for us, man? Is it a good thing for us, or are they setting us up for a drive-by?
I was having the same conversation with my wife. I said it's more so of a setup in all respect because they don't get their money back. They're not just giving money just to be say, okay, well, we're gonna help. And there's been a conversation back and forth on Facebook last night, so to speak, as it relates to some of the things that the president's doing. And one young fellow was saying, it's time for us to go back to work. It's time for us to do thus and so. And I particularly wanted to know, out of this stimulus money, I know he bailed out the big corporations, but some people that get that money has already spent it because they were already behind on certain bills, and then they needed food, so the money is gone. So yeah, I think it's just one of those okey-dokes personally.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. We got another call. Go to the call in just 1 second. Right now, I want to go to Sherry. Sherry, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I was just thinking about what Leonard said earlier. He was talking about he's not going to tell anybody how to spend their money, which is true. You spend your money how you want to spend your money, but you have to be mindful that every action has a reaction. So if you take all that money and go spend it, and then you don't have anything else to fall back on, you didn't use it responsibly, you can't get mad at anybody but yourself. And we talked about this at another show. Anna was talking about how she has to live too. I'm not going to lend you no more than $50. So then you start borrowing money from people. If everybody's strapped for cash, everybody has just enough money to pay their bills and buy groceries and just ride out the wave. You can't be borrowing money because I'm like, right now, I have enough to pay my bills. I don't have enough to take care of other people's households. You should have took care of your business when you had the ability to do it, but you were reckless. So we have to keep that in mind when we get past this situation, because I've said this before, people didn't wake up when Katrina happened. That could have happened here. When the recession back on, what was about 8 years ago, whatever that was, and now here we are again. Get your ducks in line, get your affairs in order, so when this happens again, if it happens again, it may not, you can adjust accordingly. Everybody's crying. I see people on Facebook, they're crying, how am I going to pay my bills? I have this person, I have that person. I'm sitting up here like, I pray for them, I wish them well, but I'm good. Good deal.
And I'm gonna tell y'all something. And I know we're church people. I know all of us are saved. But fish dinners and chicken selling chicken sandwiches ain't gonna do it, man. We need another plan of action. Tawana, what's on your heart? Hold on, I'll come to you
just
next.
don't know how far people think this $1,200 is going to stretch and be able to save for what. I mean, for me personally, that might pay 2 bills. It's that. So I mean, we just got to be. We just have to be strategic. A lot of people will say save it and save it and wait, but what's the reality is the jobs that people left, they might not be going back to those jobs. Those jobs may not be back in the economy. So then what? So this is why I'm gonna encourage people to think outside the box. Something different, like I said, like a lot of online classes and academies, 90% off. Some are free challenges, some are just to try to buy time. At this time, when you have absolutely nothing to do, and you might want to think about finding another trade that will sustain a shutdown or anything of this nature from happening again, because you can hold on to the $1,200. I don't know how far that's going to stretch you if we're talking about being on the lockdown for 18 months.
Exactly. We have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Talking to me, greetings, family. How y'all doing? Top quality as well. Your brother and servant, brother Pete.
Pete, what's going on, man?
How you doing, family?
Hey, doing good.
I would say the stimulus is a very minute stimulation. That's all it is. It's something to keep you stimulated. Definitely, we're looking at the issue of a reset, and it seems to be going in the direction. The conversation seems to strongly be going in the direction of a crypto-style currency, and they're looking at backing it with gold. So it's a lot of regulations, a lot of different formations in that arena that will alter, that will change, that come into play. So when you're seeing the CEOs resign, when you're seeing Buffett pull money out, that's because of the regulations. They're not abandoning the structure. They're adjusting themselves for the coming structure. So these are the things that seem to be really taking place. This $1,200, I really haven't put my hand on that. You get $1,200, but millionaires are getting millions of dollars.
Yeah.
It goes back to understanding in this society, America, we see America as a government, but America also has a corporate side. Most societies do. But the corporate side has definitely overran the governmental structure in this society. If you are not a business owner in this society, you do not count. You just get moved and pushed in every direction. Your voice is really moot. Your position is moot. So too many of our people find themselves being wage earners, even having a minority or a small business. If it's too small of a business that it doesn't have a footprint, it basically doesn't measure on the scale, okay? So that's the arena. It's about business in this country. It's not about workers. They don't start businesses to provide jobs, to give salaries, give insurance, give 401k. You start a business to make a profit. You only have a job, earning a wage as a byproduct of that business, earning a profit. So that's the arena. So really taking control of our collective contribution into commerce is critical. You're looking at these times now and you're saying, hey, this is that, I have all these issues. Right, but we go bankrupt as an ethnic group in this country every night. As soon as we get money, it go right out of our hands. I mean, smoothly, straight through. You know what I mean? It's like you lose money. As soon as you get it, you might as well just say, man, I got it and I lost it. So you're giving it away like, and it's not coming back.
And a lot of times it don't even touch your hand. A lot of times it don't even touch your hand, brother. A lot of times, far too often, it don't even touch your hand. Hold on one second, Pete. Don't go nowhere. Christy, what's on your heart?
Hey, I just want to say 2 things. I wanted to touch because it was a caller before that was speaking about how nobody want to invest in the church because the church is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I want to say to that brother, if you're in a ministry that's not doing what they're supposed to do, then you have a right to move ministries into one it is. And never forget to seed into the church. I don't care what it looked like. I don't care what it seemed like. You have to follow. I mean, you don't have to, but it tells us that if you pay your tithes and your offering, God will pour out blessings to you. Don't forget to do that. That's important. I don't want nobody to miss their blessings because no matter what and I had a conversation with a pastor And this is what I don't care if my pastor take my tithe and buy him a BMW or her. I don't care if they buy them a new pair of shoes. I don't care if they never give to the community. God gave me a commandment. It's about obedience. And obedience is better than sacrifice. So if you be obedient, and it's more than one ways to tithe. If you don't want to tithe in your church, then you ask God, what can you do for your community? Okay, and the second thing I want to touch on, I wouldn't care how little this money is. It may not be a lot, but it's a lot to somebody. We are only telling you to save it. And I understand it might not pay but one bill. It may not pay a half a bill, but at least it's there for something. And if you save it, and I'm saying pay what you got to pay, do what you got to do. But at the end, for me and my household, we going to save this money because I know what's going to come. Because in a minute, if you look and you research, currency is going to become null and void. Well, there's not going to be any more currency. And when there's no more currency, then what are you going to do? If you don't have Bitcoin, if you don't have electrical money, if you don't have a card, if you don't have a bank account, if you don't have those things, currency is going to be the thing of the past because they feel like money is dirty. If you're not looking into the Bible and reading the Bible and knowing what's coming, the mark of the beast is coming. Chipping is coming. A lot of things is coming. And we as a people have to be prepared by doing your own gardens, just like Mr. Leonard said. A lot of things that we have to put in place and not be ignorant to these devices. We have to stand up as a people and understand where this people, because a lot of us don't like to plan. A lot of us don't like to see what the future is going to hold. The America that we had back before this happened will never be the same. You will never see that normalcy again.
Good deal. Good deal. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh, I was just listening to the last comments. Also, I posted in our chat, and you may want to take it and put it on the page. Shout out to Brother Pete. And when he was mentioning about currency markets and things like that, a lot of people, and we have to understand there's a couple of discussions going on. There's the macroeconomic issue and then the micro stuff. Your personal economies, like I say, must contract. What you're going to have to do is get used to not having the things that you used to have and things like that. So normally you're going to take a little decrease. What you have to look at is some people are looking at this as an opportunity to invest in the market. If you look at the all digital currencies are almost up, with the exception of 1 and 2. If you had not been following Bitcoin, you didn't know that was falling out completely. Okay. But now it's back. You have the brothers also that have been telling you to put your savings in gold and those types of things. And they've been pushing, I can't remember one of the things, but, fiat currency is what it is. And what that means is we have agreed on a mode of transfer and we use dollars. And people have been talking about the dollar forever losing its value and everything. We see this as this oncoming depression as a push towards that. But there are still very wealthy people out here willing to put things out and to keep things moving. And I just want to comment on what you said before about fish sandwiches and chicken sandwiches ain't going to do it. Yes, they will.
You think they'll do it?
No, I know they'll do it for the very simple fact that's how you got where you are today. And where most people got where they got today. The some people, guess what? They still living. They coming and setting up their shop in your neighborhood, selling you fish and chicken dinners. That's paying for mansions on the other side of town. So it's about need. What you're going to need in the end is food, clothing, and shelter. You don't need a whole lot if you're growing your own food and you owning your own shelter. So imagine if you had to decrease to the point where you no longer had 30 pairs of shoes, 30 pairs of pants, and that type of thing. So you're going to have to decrease that. And a lot of people started this many, many years ago by, you see businesses that came about reselling old clothes. Think about it. They reselling old clothes. So we have to look at, what do we really need? Food, clothing, and shelter. The one brother came on about, why don't we all pool this money together and buy a property and this, that, and the other. Fine. If somebody wants to do that, set it up. But everybody should be growing something. That's how we started. Agriculture provided the base for our entire nation before industrialization.
Good deal. Good deal. Let's keep this thing going. Donald, good morning, sir. How you doing? Got another caller, Donald? Tell everybody who you are, where you calling from.
Hey, good morning, man. I'm Tristan from I think I've been
Flashlight.
You knew that was coming to you, Donald.
Donald, too soon.
Keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it.
Too soon.
We're talking about the stimulus money, man. We're talking about the stimulus money. Is that help? Is that going to help or hinder our community? And if so, what in what way?
You know, sometimes it don't make no difference how much you give a person; they can waste it anyway. Depends on who they are. I mean, if you get it and go to Walmart, it ain't gonna do you no good. If you get it and pay, use it all to try to call yourself catching up on some bills next month, 2 months later, 3 months later, you're gonna be right back where you started from. Depends on what you want to do with it. But big screen TV, that ain't gonna do you no good. What good is that? I think Linda made a point. I think all of us and figure out what you don't need and what you do need.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You hear? That's what you want to tell? Thank you, sir. I'm gonna get you. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm cleaning up my closet because I got some stuff already that 6 months ago I could wear. I can't wear that. What good is it? So what I'm saying is,
you lost a little weight, huh?
Don't let it be a waste.
You lost a little weight, huh?
I'm gonna let that slide. Clean out the clothes. I'm gonna let that slide. But go ahead.
Good deal. Good deal.
No, I can't. I had a couple of suits and I decided to put it on anyway. And I was in church trying to breathe.
Hey, I feel you, brother. I've been there myself. Bishop, what's on your heart? Bishop, you there? Okay, we might have lost Bishop. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
You know, the last job that I did before we got shut down was a movie that talked about everything that we're going through. And it really, the more I thought about what that movie was, I mean, when I tell y'all, and I can't because we have, you know, it's a major movie and major network. And it is, when I tell y'all, it's exactly what is happening right now, the idea that in places were being shut down and closed off. I mean, when I thought about it, I was like, oh my God, that movie is about exactly what is happening right now. So I believe that what we're going through should be an eye-opener for everybody. And I agree with everyone that has said that the economy will never be. And my only problem with the money, with all of this, is that we have to make it more about people and less about politics and a whole bunch of other crap, because that's what upsets me to no end. Whatever it takes to take care of people is what I believe we need to do. And if that's the stimulus check and giving people, helping them keep moving and getting themselves together, then that's what we need to do. But never get your eye off of the fact that it's about people. It's not about the brother who talked about church. I don't even want to go there because y'all have heard me say it before. I feel like the church, not all churches, but a lot of churches, it's all about the size of the building and this and that. It's about people. Everything should be about the good of mankind, people. So, you know, that brother that talked about that church thing, he was right up my alley because I can't stand it. And I'm a pastor, but I don't work inside a church. I do outreach. God told me, get out there and go reach my people. Go do for them what other people not doing. And that's what I do every day.
Exactly. Good deal. Good deal. I want to go to Leonard, and then we got another caller. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, I'm getting forgetful, but Pastor Green just said something that was very important, and how she talked about churches, this, that, and the other. And that's what people really have to be able to grasp the concept on. If it is a reset of the economy, how will you act going forward? Now, one, I'm not in church business, so I see people, putting a lot on the church. But Pastor Green just said what has to happen. People talking about these stimulus checks or whatever. If you go back to the polls and you put in a Democratic president, Democratic House, and a Democratic Senate, you will have people more focused on doing people and saving American people. Now, you can just go do that in this primary, and then you make sure you show up for when we vote for the election. But you have to get those people in office that are seriously about restoring the American economy. Right now, you have thieves in the temple. These people have never been about you. They have always worked against the working class. So as long as you allow Republican governments, you will have those people governing on the side of corporate America.
Amen.
That's where it's always been.
Good.
So I don't fault churches for how they have misused that 501c3 status. Now, go away. Imagine if the church wasn't a 501c3. Then they could participate in an economy. You have some churches that have already built living facilities for elderly people. Churches can finance a lot of different projects at this point. It's will they do it. So you all know pastors, you're pastors. You probably all understand that world of finance as it relates to religion. But these are your temples that you build.
Yes.
So I can't force you to do something with what you build. But what I will do is I will let those people know, stop investing money in people that are not returning that money.
Good deal. Good deal. We have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? I know who it is. Caller, what's your name? I know who it is. I know who it is.
It's Sheila Huggins. Good morning. How is everyone?
How you doing, young lady?
Hello.
I
left the house really early this morning. I was trying to get in a run. So before you guys were even on the call, I was out in the cold with my gloves on and my hat on and my jacket on, trying to get in my 8.6 miles this morning.
Oh, okay, good. Because I saw you on Facebook. I said, man, good Lord, it had to be about 3 o'clock this morning. I said,
yeah.
I said, Lord, my Jesus.
Right. I got up at 4:30 and got some work in, and then left to go on my run a little after 6. Good
Lord. Look here.
Yeah.
But
look, that's what it takes. If you say I listen to a lot of motivational speakers a lot of times when I'm out running like that. It's a really good way to start your day with a positive perspective, to stay focused on your goals and to know what it is you're trying to do. You don't get distracted and sidetracked from what, from the other things that might be going on. It might be tempting you away from your goals and what you're supposed to be doing with your life. So I found that that's a good way. There's hardly anybody out at that time of morning. And I can run and, have my head get filled with that positive energy first thing in the morning.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now tell everybody who you are and what you do so they know, who it is that's speaking right now.
Yeah. So my name is Sheila Huggins. I'm a licensed attorney in Durham, North Carolina. I work a lot with businesses that are Some of them are just getting started. Some of them have been around for decades. These are both small businesses and large businesses. And as you know, a lot of our businesses are closed right now. And so I'm working a lot with them as they're trying to figure out how to transition, what their contracts look like in terms of what they can and can't do. I'm talking to employees about what their options are when they've been laid off from some of these businesses, and what kind of opportunities there might be out there for them to take advantage of so that they can continue going forward. So, a lot of people are struggling right now, and so I'm transitioning what I'm doing to try to be able to help them with these challenges that they're facing right now.
And we're talking about, and that's good, because now people know that this is a very educated opinion, that you're not necessarily opinion, but what you're about to say is from an educated view or standpoint. This stimulus package that we're doing right now, that's going on, what's on your heart about the stimulus package in regards to businesses? Is it going to help? Go ahead.
In the past, there's been a lot of focus on our larger businesses. And sometimes, people like to refer to them as big business. I think we need to quantify what that looks like so that we have an understanding and a definition, a workable definition that people can use. But what gets missed in that conversation a lot of times is that most people work for small businesses, mom and pop stores, barbers and salons, people who are, running child care companies. These businesses are not necessarily large in scope, but they have a large impact on their community because of the services and products that they're providing. And so typically what has happened in the past is they get looked over during times like this. And a lot of the money has gone to those bigger businesses. And so we want to make sure that we're not leaving anybody out of the picture, and that we're understanding that everybody is being impacted. And so we have to have good policies in place, good stimulus packages that's going to help businesses across the board. And so that means that we have to take a hard look at what we're going to do to support these small businesses so that, all of our communities are protected.
Now, did I hear you say, in the course of what you were saying just now, we're going to move on, pull a few more people into the conversation, a lot of this money is going to the big businesses, quote unquote, that really don't need it, and the small businesses are falling to the wayside?
Well, what I'm saying is, in the past, that has traditionally been the case. If we go back and look at the last economic downturn, if you remember, we were talking about banks and institutions that were too big to fail. And so we turned our back on a lot of our smaller businesses in our community, and we did not support them like we should have. I think that has changed a little bit in what's going on this time. I think there is more of a recognition that we need to be just as supportive of our smaller community businesses. That doesn't necessarily mean that, we've gotten it right. It's hard. We're not seeking perfection. Just remember, we're always seeking progress. We're trying to move forward. And so I do believe that we're doing better this time. We still have work to do. If you look at it, we've already started to run out of money. People are still hurting. And we recognize that there's still a need that we're not meeting.
Good deal. Good deal. Bishop, what's on your heart right now?
I'm just listening, man, getting this information. I think she's very profound in making sure we know, understand all that is and her area of expertise. I'm pleased that you were able to get such great individuals on the show to talk about these things that we're dealing with on during this time. So everybody's comments are great. I'm just sitting there enjoying today. Thank you so much.
Good deal. Good deal. Good. Definitely always good to have you, brother. Xavier, are you still with us?
Who?
Xavier, are you still with us, Xavier?
Yes, I am, my friend. I'm sorry about that. I was on mute.
Okay. What's on your heart?
Not much, man. Just listening. Some great information. The young lady came on. I don't want to sound like I was bashing the church, but the position I speak from is from a previous pastor. So I pastored two different ministries, and that was my main focus of that ministry. You know, I canceled everything with me and told them a part of my contract of coming to pastor there was that we serve our community. Because if we're not going to do that, then there's no other reason for us to be there. And so we're not building a new building. We're not building anything new here at this church until we're serving the people within a 5-mile radius of this ministry. And if we can't do that, then I mean, we can, as we're seeing right now, I can preach from at home.
Mm-hmm.
I can get up, put on a t-shirt, and get in front of a camera and preach. So we, so you know, kind of switching modes for a moment, talking about, you know, sort of our religion, our faith, right, and our faith-based businesses. Well, I don't want to call it a business, but organization.
Mm-hmm.
Shift the way that we manage our churches, the way that we manage our churches, and it began to become more needed in our community for something other than standing behind the pulpit and just preaching. Right.
Exactly.
So we, you know, we can go into Acts and we can find that very idea of the church as not being a physical place. The church is literally that group of people that can come together and meet a need. And so if that's what we're going to, as a ministry, then that's what we do in church. That's be a little bit more transparent about the way we are managing the money. I do care if pastor rides in a BMW and everybody else at the church is riding Marta. Folks are getting put out. Repo man coming to the church to get people's cars out of the parking lot. I do care about those things, and I think we should if we're going to be good stewards, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't have to give it to this particular building. And for my business tithes. We tie to organizations in our community. My personal finances, I tie to several different ministries. So I believe in definitely doing that. I believe that there is a staple in our community, but we do need to hold our ministries to a higher standard. It does no good for us to tie to this ministry.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I think we might have lost it. I think we might have lost it. Okay, good. Sherry, what's on your heart? And I'm gonna tell y'all, if y'all want to tie into the DKM Radio, go to dkmradio.com and go to the there's a page right there where you can actually do your donations right there. dkmradio.com, man. Hey, look at here. We trying to keep the lights on around here too. dkmradio.com. Go there and there. I'm being silly. Sherry, what's on your heart?
Yeah, you gotta get that money. But I just feel like that. I just feel like, you know, people have to be mindful. And I mean, my idea of giving is outside of the church. I mean, I've seen situations where I was approached a wrong way about money and everything. And it's like, okay, I've given. But when I fell on hard times, I did not receive. Mm-hmm. And being a member of certain churches, not going to say what church it is, but it's like they will look at your tithes and offer and say, okay, well, you didn't give enough. Okay, I might not have a job to give that much as far as monetary gifts, but I gave my time. If you were to add up my time, you know, that's more than enough. I was here when the doors were open. I was here when you closed the doors. I got here sometimes before you got here. So it's just the fact that the idea is that now I'm very mindful who I bless along the way. Like I went somewhere the other day with my daughter, and I saw this young lady, and, you know, she was pregnant and she was working and felt like she was stressed out and everything. So I went to the ATM, got her a few dollars, and I took it to her. And I was just like, I told her, just put it in her pocket and just don't say nothing. And I was trying to pull off, but somebody was backing up. And then she caught me in the parking lot. She was like, why did you do this? Why did you do? Was it a mistake? This, that, and that. Did I mess something up? I said, no. I was like, just be blessed. And I just left, you know. But I mean, and then another thing is when I give, I don't need to be seen when I give, because God sees everything. He hears and sees everything. So like I said, I'm skeptical about giving to a church and certain things, especially when I know that the church is falling apart. They're not helping in the community, but you blinging on your wrist.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Let me say this, and I want to. I said Sherry, but I clicked on man.
I saw that. I was like, hey.
but that's good, Sherry. I definitely appreciate what you said there. But let me ask y'all a question. And we're not here to bash the church. We're not going to beat the church up and stuff like that. That's not what we're going to do. But my thing is, and I know there are some issues in the church, but my thing is this right here. If your car is broken, if your car is broken, 9 times out of 10, in order for you to get where you got to go, you got to fix that car. we might need to put that same mindset on the church. If the church is broken, we all could come together collectively. There's enough of us here today where we can make somewhat of a difference. We're not gonna be able to change everything, but we can make somewhat of a difference. If your car is broken, you're gonna fix that car. So you can.
And I get that, Raheem, but it's wrong when you make a person feel that what they have to give is not enough.
I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying.
Don't make me feel like what I'm giving is not enough.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. That's not. I never said that. I'm not wrong. Christy, what's on your heart?
Hey, I just want to say to everyone that, you know, I'm blessed. I'm blessed and highly favored to be in amongst of a church that gives to the community, that we do workshop, we have prison ministries, and I'm blessed that my pastor, she's not salaried, but when we pay our tithes, we know where it goes to. So I am blessed. So I don't know, and my tithes and my offers are not looked at. If somebody's in need at the church, we all give. I know one Sunday, and this is the truth, I promise. We knew a lady had lost her job. This was before all this had happened. And a pastor wanted to bless her. So what we did was we had a Sunday where we told everybody to bring extra money. And we all blessed her mightily, like just gave to her so she can be able to sustain herself. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't all the answer, but we do all kind of things. So I'm blessed, and I can't say that. And I tell everyone, if you don't have a ministry where that is being operated, you have the opportunity of leaving that ministry to find somewhere where God have you to be able to inject to make a change.
Absolutely.
And offering and you know, like you said, Raheem, if something is broke, we can fix it. Mm-hmm. And we have an opportunity to not let the church die. And just like when Jesus went into the temple and they were selling different things in the temple, and he came in there and he was upset, he was mad, and he turned, this is my version, he turned over tables, he made a push on people, he was upset. Mm-hmm. And he was upset because you say you made this is a house of thieves instead, you know, this is a house of prayer. Mm-hmm. And so we have to remember that is a building, it is, but that's where you go to get saved, sanctified, exactly. Filled with the Holy Ghost. Mm-hmm. That's where your preacher is supposed to be able to teach you. Now, if you with a preacher that is not doing what they're supposed to do, it's your job, because when Jesus come back, he's going to judge the church first. He said he's looking for a church without a spot or wrinkle. Mm-hmm. So I just want to encourage you all. Tithe, pay your offerings, be blessed. Mm-hmm. I love y'all.
All right, preacher. We're gonna go Pete, coming to Pete, then we're gonna go to Elgin, and then after Elgin, we're gonna go back to Huggins. Huggins, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good deal. Pete, are you there? Pete going once, Pete going twice. Pete, are you there?
Wake up and go to sleep.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me say this. I don't want to offend anybody. When we're talking about these spiritual institutions, okay, unity, all right, is a concept, and being in alignment with the truth. Probably a great issue that many have with these civil, social, fraternal, professional, and these religious, spiritual organizations are that they are not aligning themselves together to implement one agenda or two agendas that can be distributed, agreed upon amongst their different bodies in conjunction with the other bodies, and achieve a goal, seize that ground, build on that ground, and advance. And the fact that we have all of this, we on here, everybody believe in God, fantastic. I'm not diminishing that. But spirituality is one thing, but your feet do touch the ground when you get up in the morning. You do have to put some food in your mouth. You are in a structure, so you have to have some form of security, housing. That then comes the elements of furniture and electricity and gas and electric. And then you have some mode of transportation. That's getting off into the reality of commerce. And we do not control our commerce. We don't even understand commerce. We don't make it. We're not in the spiritual institutions educating the body about the relevance of their contribution for existence in commerce, and more so controlling it. And that's the problem. So when we when we find ourselves collectively as a people, okay, hallelujah, praise the Lord, amen. Great. Now, what are you gonna do about feeding yourself tonight? What are you gonna do about housing yourself tonight? What are you gonna do about paying these bills tonight? What are you going to do about meeting these basic everyday needs? And I'm not diminishing the faith in God at all. But what is your role? You wouldn't even have a relationship with God if you didn't first acknowledge him, if you didn't first ask him to come and indwell you and be your personal savior, if you didn't obey his word, obey his commandments, pray, fast, come on now, be obedient. A whole lot of work that you got to do to be a beneficiary of this free gift. Why do we not deal with it on the natural side to put ourselves in a better position naturally? We cannot say we are servants of the Most High God, the creator of all living things, by whatever name you call it, okay? Now, and then you are in agreement with a system that is wicked, wrong, unrighteous. How are you strengthening that? And then you go into your formation and say you serving the Most High.
Hold on right there. Hold on right there. Pete, hold on. I got to keep putting more people in here. Elgin, what's on your heart, brother?
So now first of all, I'm blessed by the dialogue, and it's like I've been saying for the past 5 or 7 days, and there's an awakening that's happening right now amongst God's people in the midst of this situation right now that's happening. And once again, the whole world is on timeout. So we have time to figure out what we're going to do when we come out of the situation, how we're going to change our behavior to make a better or a greater impact on society and truly be like the brother that's here as pastor and be the church that we're supposed to be. And just for, I'm covering everybody, and I know it's been said by a couple people, listen, no, we're not attacking a church, but let's be real. Collectively, as a body of Christ, we are not doing what we need to do, handling kingdom business the way God ordained it to be done. We are taking the foolish things of this world, the money, and we're supposed to use it to found the wisdom of all men to make us understand we don't, at the end of the day, we should be in such a position so we don't even need the money anymore. We got our faith and our wisdom and our doing something about our faith and our wisdom has propelled us in a position where we can actually be more of a benefit to society even without the money. We can use the money, great, but we don't need it to survive. But we're not there right now. You know why? Because we're trying to operate kingdom visually under the world standards. And that's not how it's done. And so we're supposed to do kingdom business and show the world how kingdom business operates. And they say, man, I'm trying to get down with that. Remember now, Jesus told the man go down and pull the fish up the water, reach his mouth and pull the boat out and go pay the taxes. That's supernatural, man. That's the kind of God we serve. But what we're doing is, hey, I'm gonna work in the world system, like the man was saying earlier. I work for a company. They really don't give a darn about me. I'm just a worker to them. I'm gonna make them rich, and I'm gonna keep struggling to try to make a dollar out of 15 cents. So this is the dichotomy that we're in. But right now is the time that we shift. Right now is the time that we transition. And I'll be quiet after this. I'm gonna say one time, I am so blessed to hear this awakening that's happened. I believe there's a great awakening happening amongst the body and God's people. I'm excited to see what's about to happen next, man. Just look forward to it, man.
Good deal. Attorney Huggins, what's on your heart, sister?
I'll say this, and I probably have to go. I guess since I came in late, it's sort of hard for me to, comment on some of this. But I will say this: I've been a part of a lot of organizations, and I grew up in the church. And, when I think about some of the challenges that our faith-based organizations have had, it's some of the same challenges that I see in some of the other organizations that have missions that are directed toward making people's lives better. And, I think a lot of it still has to do with just human nature. And the fact that we aren't perfect people, and that sometimes we have members in our organization that aren't necessarily the greatest contributors, and we see that across the board. It's in the church just like it's in some of our other community organizations. And so when I'm a part of these organizations, I understand that going in. For me, the best way that I can handle it is to sort of look beyond that and stay focused on what the goal is. And it can be really hard to do that when you're working in this environment, because you're already trying to do hard work. And none of this work is really easy, to be honest, when you're trying to help somebody get their lights back on, or somebody who, can't pay their bills and are looking at being evicted. The work is really hard, and it can take a great psychological toll on your soul and on your psychological well-being.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for me, I have to look beyond some of the drama that we can have show up when we're trying to do this work,
Mm-hmm.
and to keep my eye on the prize.
Absolutely.
And that is what, helps me sort of stay focused. And again, like I said, I got to go for that run in the morning. I got to get that exercise in.
Yeah.
So I start out strong. So that I start out strong mentally. And then when I'm walking into these other spaces and I'm being challenged and I'm seeing the pain that I'm seeing, I am bringing my strongest and my best self to work on it.
Good deal. Good deal. Leonard, we're going to get out of here in a minute, man. We actually overtime already. It's 9:12. We should have been out of here at 9 o'clock. But Leonard, what's on your heart?
Oh, I was just listening with some good advice going around. And one, you have to really separate your emotions from your finances. Do that as soon as possible. We need to, I want to comment about the church being broken. The church is not broken. You just have a different structure. Pete told you about unification. The Catholic Church was so successful is because they believe in one world government. Okay. And they believe that the Pope is the head of that government. And this is why they have been able to maintain such wealth and provide what they have provided to the world on the scale that they have. Now, just all church unifying, man, it would be great, but that may not happen. So what we have to do is, if you are a pastor or what have you, you start a consortium of pastors that are willing to do this. You wealthy people, wealthy pastors with all the skills and knowledge need to come. If it's 3 or 4 of you, come together and find out what it is you're going to do for the community. You definitely have the money. So prove to the people you are what you are about. Also, I posted that information. I think you put it out. You're going to put it out.
Yes, I did. Mm-hmm.
For people who always talk about digital currency, go to that website, Coinbase. There's a lot of information there for you to learn about coin, learn about the companies that's in the market and what it's for. It provides their white papers and everything there to talk about those companies. And it gives a great comparison of them. So if you've ever been wanted to know about other digital currency, use that website. It's a great site.
Good deal. Good deal. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
I'm just grateful for everything that's been said, and money, man. Money.
Mm-hmm.
It's just money. The way that we look at money, and I agree with those that said that our whole image of what money is and what it's going to look like is about to change. So we have to change our mindset when it comes to money. Mm-hmm. And the main thing, I think the biggest problem is with this country is what the word says, the love, not money itself, but the love of money is the root of all evil, because Absolutely. That is what has us in a lot of the situations where people in this country love money. I'm not talking about having money to do good or having money, to be a blessing or anything. I'm talking about there's people in this country that are just greedy. Corporate America, 45. It's all about their love of money, not about helping people, not about making sure that everybody gets a piece of the pie. It's about them having the whole pie.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, listen, I'm looking at the clock, man. It is time for us to get out of here. I know a lot of us have a lot more to say on this topic, man. We would do it. I'm a Charles Leonard with reminding me to do this topic again.
Yes, please.
Yeah. But before I go, I can't go without saying, Tawana, anything on your heart?
I think everybody pretty much said we have to keep up with where we are. We know that we are in a digital world. We have to adjust to that. If my suggestion is, we have all this free time. We don't know when we're going to be at lockdown. We don't know if the jobs that we had pre-lockdown is still the same jobs that we're going to have post-lockdown. So we need to, if we can take this time, if they have things where we can learn a different skill set, maybe it's something that you want to do something that's your passion. And, you know, like I said, right now it's like ridiculously low. Like I think like courses is like 90% off. It's something other people that's done like this. Like right now, I'm in a 30-day quarantine challenge. So it's learning other things. We have to keep up with this technology if we want to make it. And it's because nothing is going back to the way that we knew it was. We're in a digital market. We've been progressing that way for so long that I'm surprised that we're just now getting to this point where we are. But we're going to continue to go that route. Nothing is going to be the same. So we have to be able to adjust with the time.
Exactly. Leonard, what is going on at 3 o'clock today, brother? Talk to me. What's going on at 3 o'clock?
If you did not get a chance to hear this show in its entirety, you can log on to www.dkmradio.com at 3 o'clock p.m. today.
Good deal. Bishop, you still with us?
Yes, sir. I'm right here.
Pray us out, brother.
All right. Heavenly Father, we come before you this present hour, giving thanks and praise unto you, Lord, for all that you do have done. Thank you, Lord God, for DKM Radio and our great host, Raheem, and all those who called in to participate in this dialogue. We ask, Father God, that this message can continue to go across the world, that we're enlightening other individuals, that they may look at themselves and look on the needs of others. We ask, Father God, this prayer to be your will in your name, Jesus.
Amen. See y'all later.
Amen. Yeah.
It's time to get out of here for today. Thank y'all. I definitely appreciate each and every one of you. It is now 9:18 and you're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow.
No hugging, though. No hugging.
No hug. Yeah, gotta be 6 feet apart, ain't it? Give him an air hug. Give him an air hug. Give him an air hug from 6 feet away. Don't come no closer than 6 feet, because people might not be happy with that. But love each other, and love one another. Y'all have a great day and a better tomorrow. Okay, let me get myself together here. I'm gonna play my little outro here, and we will talk to you on the other side of tomorrow.